When we think about servanthood, somebody who serves, we always think about somebody who's weak, who has less value than the other person. Therefore, if you are serving somebody, it means that you have a lower position. So you can get closer to that person because of your lower position, or your less importance than the other person has. The Bible talks about this, but it goes backwards because the Bible always sees things very different as our society sees things. And let me share with you this verse in Philippians chapter 2. It says, "In your relationships with one another, have the same mind set as Christ Jesus." And that gives us a problem right there because we don't have Jesus' minds. We don't think like Jesus. We don't look like Jesus, even though I could look like Jesus, never mind. But you don't have in your mind, in your daily life, a mindset as Jesus does. And that is very difficult, even if you're a Christian like me. So many years of going to church, so many years of doing stuff. We don't have a mind that says, I'm gonna start serving today. I'm gonna see life as a servant. I know maybe some of you would think, yes, I do. I woke up this morning thinking that I was gonna do things for my beloved ones, or even for somebody I don't know. And that's great. But in our human nature, in our sinful nature, we rarely think about that. We rarely think about what Paul is going to tell us here in Philippians. He says, Jesus, who being in very nature God, he was God, did not consider equality with God. That is crazy. I think one thing, if you want to serve, if you want to know how hard it is to become a servant, number one, you need to know yourself very well. You need to know who you are. Jesus knew who he was. Jesus knew exactly what kind of nature he had, and it was the same as God. That's one thing. The second thing comes in the next verse. It says, rather, he made himself nothing. Second thing you need to know. You don't just need to, like Jesus, know who you are, but number two, you need to know that you're nothing. You need to have a humility built in your thinking, because it keeps saying, by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. So this is my question for you today. In order to serve, this serving thing is very difficult. In order to serve, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to become? Or actually, not even become. What are you willing to lower yourself to lower yourself, to go down in the in the scale, to go down in the food chain? What are you willing to do or not to do? Sometimes it doesn't take us to say something or to do something. Sometimes it takes us, in order to serve, to not say something and not do something, and that's more difficult. Because this society is telling us, do, accomplish, get things, be somebody, make a name for your own. And Jesus is telling us, you know what? I did make myself like you in order to reach you. That's the hardest part of servanthood. So do you want to serve today? I hope you do. Just become like him. Just think more like Jesus. Know who you are. Be humble. Make yourself less. That works. This is Rey with the Spanish Ministry. I hope you have a great day.